Randall Hughes with GodGlorified.com, and we're commenting on today's Bible reading for April the 3rd, which we began at Joshua chapter 19, verse 40, and continued into chapter 21 of Joshua, almost completed all of 21. There were some other portions from First Chronicles. Is that chapter 6, I believe. And so one of the things I wanted to point out again is we've talked about the cities of refuge. They were intermingled there with the portions. Chapter 20 specifically was dealing with the cities of refuge, and then the various allocations to the Levites. But the city of refuge was because capital punishment was so prevalent. I want you to think about that. They created a city of refuge because of the possibility, number one, that you might accidentally kill someone, and that the family of the deceased, would have the right to take your life. And so you had the opportunity, once you were aware of what happened, to get to a city of refuge. And so once again, God ordained capital punishment. As we've read at different times through here, it says that others would see and fear and say, hopefully you can make wise decisions and say, I don't want to do something that's going to cost me my life. It's not worth it. And so it was part of God's plan initially. And I guess I do advocate for the death penalty. I think in the age that we live in, it needs to be carefully done, just like under the law. It was in the mouth of 2 or 3 witnesses. In other words, the certainty needs to be very, very high when it's carried out. If there's uncertainty, I'm not for it, is all I know how to say that. And so that's just my own take on it. And Romans chapter 13, to me, clarifies New Testament that God still endorses capital punishment, where he writes through Paul and says, the powers that be are ordained of God, and that they bear not the sword in vain. Kind of went blank there. That's not exactly. It says, let every soul be subject to the higher powers, for the powers that be are ordained. I couldn't get that first line there. And so God endorses governments, endorses capital punishment for them to take action against those that would be lawless and lawbreakers. And so at any rate, but God allowed for these cities of refuge to give an opportunity for somebody to that was not guilty of murder, or maybe they were not guilty of killing. Is that how I want to say it? Yeah. They took a life, but it wasn't intentional, so it was not murder. Murder is with motive, in my mind, with hatred, with malice. And so anyway, that's what I'm seeing portrayed here. And once again, quite a workout for the phonetics of the various names of all the cities, some of the names of the various people, and just that the city of refuge tells me that God has mercy on those that may find themselves in unique circumstances, some without intentional. In other words, it was through no intent of their own that they found themselves. And so God's mercy. And so help us, God, to be merciful and to love mercy. And so that's going to conclude our comments for today. I pray that you're blessed in Jesus' name.